Welcome to Metro YMCA's SACC and Summer Staff Training Refresh Series. This session is focused on the ages and stages of our student population. There are two reasons why it is important to be familiar with the ages and stages of our students. One is to better understand what your students are capable of. We must make sure what we expect from them is even possible. The other is to better understand that the behaviors we see are part of the growing up stage. They will need to do certain things to grow, learn, and understand how the world works. The information in this presentation should be used only as a reference point, not as criteria to diagnose students. We cannot do that. If you do notice a student is unable to do many of the tasks listed for their age group, talk to a member of the mental health team. As we review the developmental stages and milestones, we ask you consider what you can do with this information. How can you support your students? One way is to be able to control ourselves and our reactions to their behaviors. Okay, so let's start with the 5-year-olds. This is one of the most challenging times for students because more is being asked of them. There are rules that they didn't have in preschool, there are no more nap times, and there are more expectations of them than ever before. So how do 5-year-olds figure out how the world works? They talk a lot, and they ask a lot of questions. This helps them process what they are seeing and what is asked of them. Questions can get tedious, especially when they are repeating the same ones, but it is so important not to shut them down. They can understand commands with multiple instructions, but you will still need to repeat them more than once. They may compare their parents' rules with that of aftercare or summer camp. This comparison can come off as defiance, but at this age it is not. They are not trying to upset you, they are trying to make sense of the world. One thing that they cannot do is to stand still for long periods of time. When we ask them to line up or to be still, they can line up and they can walk in that straight line, but they cannot stand still while waiting in line. We need to understand that so we adjust our expectations of them. So how can we specifically support 5-year-olds? What they need is repetition, predictability, and consistency for them to learn and feel safe. We need to understand that 5-year-olds are not going to be quiet. Active play and thinking aloud is how they learn and understand who they are. We need to let them do those things. Allow them to run around to burn off the stress of the day or listen to them as they process their day. We think kindergarten is easy. It is not for a 5-year-old. On the flip side, there are some students that will need rest and have quiet time. They have spent all day being attentive, following rules, and they are overstimulated by the time they come to aftercare. If some need quiet time, allow it. At this age, they need your assurance that they are important. They need time, patience, understanding, and genuine attention. They are learning who they are and how they fit in with others. Now let's talk about the 6 to 12-year-olds. This slide is a partial list of the many new things that each age group is now capable of. As it was mentioned earlier, this is to be used as a reference, not as a diagnostic tool. The next few slides are broken down by age for a clearer picture for each's capabilities. Now let's talk about the 6 and 7-year-olds. These are students that are in 1st and 2nd grade. For them, friendships are becoming even more important. They still want to talk and ask a lot of questions, especially if it's about something new. They are self-centered, impatient, and demanding, which can bring on temper tantrums. These tantrums happen in part because they don't have the language needed to express their emotions properly. So we can talk to them about their feelings. The mental health team has created a number of resources that can help with this. Each SACC site and summer camp will receive SEL resource binders with activities and talking points. You can still support them even without the binders. You have control over how you react to them. Here are a few ideas. Be gentle, non-judgmental. Do not say things like, "You need to stop crying now," or "calm down." Instead, sit with them. Listen to them. Remember, their outbursts are not about us. They are not manipulating us or trying to make our day difficult. They need us, and the behavior is a way that they are asking for our help. At this age, they need to push boundaries, but we need to be consistent and a good role model on how we handle frustrations and disappointments. Routines and consistency are still very important. Do not accept behavior one day and correct them for the same behavior tomorrow. Set up and explain rules about daily routines. They need your praise for what they do well. 8 and 9-year-olds. These are 3rd and 4th graders. Friends are becoming even more important than they were before. They are more focused on fairness. They pay very close attention to how you treat them and compare that to how you treat others. They have limited attention spans and need to be reminded of their tasks. This is frustrating for sure, but it is not deliberate to annoy you. None of the challenging behaviors they do are deliberate. It is not personal. Therefore, our reaction should not be personal. They are probably able to adjust to change and disappointments much better than before. They are beginning to assert themselves more, so there can be more conflicts among peers. It is important to show them that disagreements are okay, and it is how we work through them that is important. Talk about being respectful of others when disagreeing and the importance of being part of a community. At this age, they need more independence, yet they still need your help. Allow them space to try and be there if they need it. Your expectations have a big impact on them. Keep communication lines open by setting rules and giving reasons for them, and by being a good listener. Now let's talk about the 10 to 12-year-olds. They are way more expressive and talkative. They like to explain things, but it is different from when they were younger. Now they know everything and want to teach us. They are learning to handle emotions such as fear, frustration, and rejection. They are more independent, but quite self-conscious. They are also more understanding and cooperative. Friends are more important than ever. They will behave in ways unlike themselves to fit in, and they are very sensitive about their appearances and their clothes. At this age, they need room to make sense of the world, but also need to know that you are there when they have questions. Sometimes they take things very seriously and need to be reminded to have fun. It is very important to not shame them or tease them about clothes, hair, appearance, or friends. So this slide is a summary of what we can do to help our students during different stages of their development. Set and provide appropriate, consistent, fair limits and expectations using appropriate consequences. Encourage them to talk with and be open with their feelings. Appreciate the high importance of friendships. Allow for physical activity. Encourage them to be respectful and listen to authority figures. Come to them ready to listen and be non-judgmental. Lead with kindness and openness. We hope you found this brief slideshow helpful when working with your students in aftercare and summer camp. If you have any questions, please reach out to any of the mental health specialists on the screen. We are here to help you and support you with your students and your programs. Thank you.